Welcome to Reviewing the Ring. Today, Hell in a Cell 2017. Was it good? Was it bad? Let's review. Alright, the kickoff match on the pre-show, the Hype Brothers going against Benjamin and Gable. This ended up being better than I expected. Plenty of big moves and near falls. Benjamin and Gable got the win, as they should have. Gets a yes. Alright, the tag title match jerks the curtain with the New Day defending against the Usos. Expectations sky high after watching these teams the past few months, as they have put on near flawless classics. Now, start of the match, weapons were brought out ASAP and put to good use. The only complaint that I had with any of this was Big E and Xavier Woods' use of their placed weapons felt a little bit light and too funny for being a cell match. And yes, I know it's the New Day, but it felt out of place a little bit with the gong and the cowbell, but whatever, small gripe. Alright, following that little small gripe, what followed was an absolute vulgar display of power. The cell was used as a weapon, kendo sticks used to imprison an Uso, Big E slamming, I think it was Jimmy, down onto a running Woods knee to the outside, which looked awful. Shout out to Kofi during all of this. Kofi was the odd man out, so he was on the outside of the cell, and his reactions to everything that was happening inside the cell were on point. He definitely didn't phone it in out there. Now, the New Day are eventually going to get handcuffed. They get worked over with kendo sticks. Woods is hung from the corner of the ring post. He is shredded by kendo sticks during this. It looked and sounded brutal. Big E did break his cuffs off camera, which was a bit confusing. He was handcuffed and they're just broken in half. So that was a small little minor detail that kind of got lost in the shuffle here. But the Usos pick up the win. They drop a double Us onto Woods, who had a chair lying on top of him. Brutal cell match. They added some unseen things to a cell match with the kendo sticks pinning somebody into the corner. I loved it. The Usos have the straps. Huge yes. Now, special shout out to Corey Graves getting a RoboCop reference in there as they were in Detroit. That man is a national treasure. Following that, we have Randy Orton going up against Rusev. Man, what a case of what could have been here. A typical Orton match, as there was plenty of opportunity to speed things up a bit on occasion, but that never really transpired or happened. There were some good outside spots. Rusev working Orton's back to get the accolade in later in the match. Eventually, Orton is banging down onto the ground, setting up the RKO like he normally does. Rusev grabs Orton's hands, flips backwards, and gets into the accolade position to only have that reversed into the RKO for a Randy Orton win. Again, what could have been? Rusev should have won using the accolade, as how he went for it, how he could have locked it in was amazing. But it's Rusev, he loses, and the announcers get to say RKO out of nowhere. This is a no. Following that, we have a triple threat for the U.S. title. AJ Styles defending against Baron Corbin and Tye Dillinger. Dillinger was inserted into the match during the pre-show, and the match itself was borderline great. AJ came to work for sure as he was flying around, taking huge outside bumps. All three of the individuals got in plenty of good in-ring moves, with a massive shout out to Baron for grabbing AJ off the top rope and doing a double choke slam into a backbreaker. It was something else to see. AJ hits the phenomenal forearm on Tye. Corbin kicks AJ out of the ring, or at least he tried, because maybe AJ got caught on the ropes during that first kick, but the second kick that Corbin delivered to AJ, man, AJ took a hell of a nasty fall onto the floor. Corbin gets the win after pinning Tye post forearm, and the new U.S. title holder is one Baron Corbin. Really enjoyed this. Definite yes. Next up, we have the ladies. Natalya defending her championship against Charlotte. A yes is going to this match despite the finish. Both ladies used submissions as finishers, so the match itself was based around that fact. As a result, it wasn't a fast-paced affair, but it was a good exhibition of technical wrestling and storytelling. Charlotte sold a knee injury throughout. Natalya, being the heel, attacked it throughout. Charlotte did hit a moonsault onto Natalya on the outside, and this leads Natalya to use a chair to get DQ'd. Now, this was a tad bit strange. Natalya was winning the match at the time, so this finish didn't fit the match that had occurred previously leading up to this weird finish. Good match, weird ending. Jinder Mahal defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. And oh brother. Alright, we had rest holds. We had an attempted test of strength from Jinder. We had a couple of shoulder blocks. We had some more rest holds. Nakamura must have had a blast during this match. Singh brothers did some distraction stuff and then got ejected. Nakamura missed a knee strike. Jinder hits the Colossus. This continues. They buried Nakamura in the process. Massive hell no to all of this. Alright, moving on, we have Bobby Roode going up against Dolph Ziggler. The buffer match before the main event was a bore. Ziggler came out to no entrance at all, which wasn't too bad. He's the heel. It was actually refreshing to see. The crowd wasn't into it at all. I wasn't into it. The match wasn't any good. Ended up with a roll-up chain that saw Roode, who is the face, mind you, pulling on the tights to win. Ziggler hits the zigzag post-match, so he's still a heel even though Roode was the heel to get the win. Alright, bad build, bad feud, bad match, bad ending, big old no! Alright, main event time, Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens. The match started at 10 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, so the assumption I had was it's going to be short. It was over at 11:30 East Coast time. The match itself didn't feel long, at least. Loads of big spots throughout. Owens tried a cannonball and missed going through a table. Pinfall anywhere, so they eventually did make their way out of the cell. They make it to the top. Lots of suplexes are traded. A power bomb whilst on the roof. What goes up must come down. And Owens was the first when he was knocked off the side through a table. And then, just like Mania a few years ago, Shane missed an elbow from the top of the cell. Now, Sami Zayn is a heel now, so he pulls Kevin Owens out of the way during the big elbow drop spots from the top of the cell, and he then pulls Kevin Owens over to get the win. Good enough cell match, so it is a yes. Alright, match of the night, New Day versus the Usos. They killed it. It was labeled as the final time these two teams will meet. If that's the case, hell of a way to go out. Surprise of the night. Sami Zayn heel turn, and maybe, hopefully, they will utilize him more. He is fantastic in the ring. I don't know what he's going to be like as a heel, but at least in ring, you know you are getting borderline greatness on a nightly basis. Overall, I enjoyed Hell in a Cell 2017 more than I was expecting to. Cell matches were good, US triple threat worked, ladies match was good despite the ending, Rusev-Orton match could have been an awesome ending, and then there was some serious shit matches involved in this as well. But to slap a review on Hell in the Cell 2017, I give it a $3 Million Dreams out of 5.